Hey guys, Kevin here from PwnZone Gaming. Today we're going to be having another Team Fortress loadout video. Now if you don't remember how these videos work, basically you guys can submit loadouts by putting hashtag loadout and then the loadout in the comments below. I'll select one of those and go over the pros and cons of that loadout. Now today's loadout was submitted by Shurk, and he wanted the Shortstop, the Mad Milk, and the Holy Mackerel, along with the Milkman hat. So together, this set completes the Scout Milkman Loadout. So that's what I'm going to be reviewing. Now if you play this loadout as a set, like I have, then you get an extra 25 health on your Scout. Now this can be very beneficial because the Scout is kind of a weakling. One of the problems that I have with playing Scout in general is just that the Scout dies so easy that it just frustrates me to play him. Even though you can run faster, I mean, people can just spam, and if you run into a heavy or a pyro, you're pretty much done. So this extra 25% or 25 extra hit points is really helpful when playing this Scout. Now as for the rest of the loadout, we'll start, I guess, with the Shortstop. Basically, it's just a 4-barreled pistol shotgun. You'll see that it can do some fairly good damage. The thing about this shotgun that I've noticed versus other guns, such as like the scattergun and just your regular Scout weapons, it seems to be really accurate in a way that it doesn't have a lot of spread. It seems like it's a lot harder to keep on target than the other scatterguns because you're shooting in more of a precise area than a wider shotgun kind of a spray. So if you can be accurate with this gun, then it's definitely going to be a lot more helpful for you. But it is good if you can take a second and stop running with your super speedy Scout to actually take a couple shots from a distance, because you can actually do some damage fairly far away with this gun. And if you also get crits, then it's very effective in that nature because so many of your little pellets are hitting in one specific area. So one more thing, let's talk about the Mad Milk as the second thing in the loadout. Mad Milk is just a helpful tool. It's a lot like Girardi in the sense that you can throw it onto either your teammates or you can throw it onto an enemy. And if you throw it onto an enemy, then whenever any person, either yourself or a teammate, hurts that person, then you're going to get back 60% of the damage that you did in health. So again, with the Scout being such a vulnerable and kind of weak character, in order to get health back is very beneficial. So just chuck some Mad Milk into a giant area of enemies and then just spray away with your Shortstop, and you can get back some decent health. Now this loadout is more of a team player. I found it's more of a team kind of oriented loadout than a single player kind of I'm just going to rock their faces kind of loadout. Basically, throwing the Mad Milk in there helps your teammates out a lot. Staying back with a Shortstop and kind of sniping a little bit instead of getting right up in people's faces, because it's going to be hard with that kind of tighter pattern, is a lot more helpful to your team. Now, third thing, well, first of all, we can talk about the Mad Milk a little bit more. There is one more thing to it. You can also take and put out people that are on fire. You'll see me doing that a few times as well, so that can be helpful to either put yourself out or to put out your teammates. So the third weapon in our loadout is going to be the Holy Mackerel, and I was pretty impressed with this. It's basically just a regular melee weapon. There's nothing really too special about any of these except for the Mad Milk, which has that 60% health regain on hit enemies. So the Holy Mackerel just kind of lays down a beatdown. It's a fish, so it's just more of an amusing weapon, I found, but it definitely does do some good damage. And by using the Scout speed, you're able to kind of move around and kind of dodge enemies. There were a lot of demos when I was playing this map, and they were constantly using their charge, you can see, and a lot of them were holding the caber, I think, the one that explodes when they hit you. Basically, they're running around with a potato masher. So if you can dodge people with the Scout, then the Holy Mackerel becomes pretty satisfying to beat them down. So you can see that it does pretty good damage. So overall, with this loadout, I was having a little bit of trouble at the beginning. If you go back and watch some of the video, a lot of my clips in the beginning were a lot shorter because I was just getting owned and I was getting really frustrated. I was actually playing with Shurk, who recommended this at the time, and he was like, yeah, it's more of a support class. But later on, I started playing it a little bit more, and I started doing considerably better. So you'll see that I have longer clips. I started staying alive longer, getting more kills. So once you play with this loadout for a little bit, it's not one of those that you can just pick up. It's not kind of like a pyro where it's just light people on fire and run away. This one actually takes quite a bit of skill in order to kind of perfect. And so once you put a little bit of time and effort into it, you'll kind of start to see the rewards of that, and you'll start to do a little bit better with this loadout. Now, I would recommend other Scout loadouts over this. If I was going to put the Mad Milk and maybe a different Scout weapon, you would lose your 25% bonus because you wouldn't have the entire Milkman loadout, but I think that this can definitely hold its own, and I've seen people do really well. So that brings us to the end of the video. If you aren't familiar again with these videos, basically if you leave a comment saying hashtag loadout and then a loadout, I will select one of those, and every video I'm going to select a previous comment from a previous video, and then I'm going to basically pick a winner, and it's just going to be at random, and you're going to get to choose from one of the weapons in that loadout. So if you want to win one of the weapons today, make sure and leave a comment on this video. So thanks for watching. I will be having another video next week, so I'll see you then.